Hey folks, thanks for joining us. I'm just going to give everyone a second here, get a few more folks logged in, and then we'll start. All right. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. Welcome to today's webinar co-hosted by the New York Oracle User Group and Oracle partner Viscosity North America. Today's webinar is from our Oracle Level Up series featuring product managers from the Oracle Enterprise and Cloud Observability and Management team. This is a live webinar, so feel free to submit questions in the Q&A field, and our speaker, Romit, today will get to your questions as he can, whether that's during the webinar or afterwards. All right. So I think you guys are familiar with me, those of you here. I'm just kind of browsing names. I love some familiar names here. My name is Monica. I'm the marketing director here at Viscosity. We are a full Oracle Stack consulting firm, and I'll talk to you a little more about that in a bit, but I'm going to turn it over to Coleman here in a second. Just another reminder, live webinar, it is being recorded. Submit questions to Q&A, and then you'll also get access to a recording at NYOUG.org. All right. Coleman, I'm going to put your slides up here.
Thank you, Monica. So, virtually live from New York, it's going to be NYOUG. We've been around since 1984 for the exchange of ideas, assistance, and support among users of the Oracle software products. Next page, please. I want to connect with us with NYOUG on X, Meetup, LinkedIn, Facebook, and of course our website, nyoug.org, which has all the webinars that we've been co-hosting with Viscosity since early in 2020. And if you have any issues in navigating to the place, just drop me an email and I'll certainly show you the navigation to it. And I want to thank Viscosity for co-hosting these series of 4 years of webinars. And I just wanted to say one thing. Next week, we have Rich Nemec speaking about 23 AI, which is going to be a very exciting webinar. On July 2nd, we have Gerald Benzel, who will also be speaking about AI. Charles Kim will be joining us on July 9th. And we have a list of others. So keep watching for our email blast and you'll see what comes up next. Thank you, Monica.
Thank you, Coleman. Yeah, we've got a great lineup, and Coleman's working hard to build up some bigger, better speakers every week. So we keep looking at nyoug.org or Viscosity for our sign-up forms. All right, so a little bit about Viscosity really quickly. We are, here we go. These are our 3 main pillars that we're built upon. So as a consulting firm and professional service offer, these are kind of what we cover: data, apps, cloud, anything across this board that you see that may speak to you, please reach out. We are super excited to be bringing one of our largest clients fully to Exadata Cloud at Customer, which is super exciting. They have been on Exadatas and ZDLRAs for a long time with us, and we're super excited for this move. But things like that, we're always excited about helping your team with architecture, figuring out what your investment can span, budgeting, all those things. So super proud of my team. This was a recent win. We got them the biggest discount any of those Oracle Cloud sales reps have seen. So partners can really go to bat for you with cost. And the amount of cloud credits that they are purchasing, a 5% or so discount makes a huge dent. So just keep that in mind when your organization is looking for a large Oracle investment like that. Work with a partner, see what you can get. All right. Everything you see across the bottom, we offer for all three pillars, whether it's assessments or training, managed services, you name it. Okay, here's some familiar faces. These are some of my teammates that are always out there speaking, writing. They're at conferences in person, and they are also the people on the ground, like helping our customer base, which is amazing. So when you work with Viscosity, you actually get some of the most respected folks in the Oracle technology field working for you. So Charles Kim, he's presenting for us on, what did you say, Coleman, July 9th, and he's going to be co-presenting actually with the Oracle VP of Exadata, XSCC, Autonomous Database, all those things, Ashish Ray. So definitely look forward to that. We'll be posting that soon. And then Rich Nemec is next week on 23AI. And everyone else, we will get them back in the realm of speaking for us, but you can definitely find them at a conference near you coming up. All right, this is pretty much the same thing, a really quick run over of what we offer. And then any of our resources that we have that we're willing to share for free, it's all found at www.orapub.com. If we present in person at a conference, we still throw slide decks up there. If it's a webinar, we put the recording up there with the slide deck. Same thing as NYOUG.org. There's a lot of other things you can find in here. So if you're looking for resources, I know I have a lot of folks who have just switched into new roles and they just need to get caught up in a certain realm, mostly around database performance. That's all in here. So check it out. There's free memberships and there's also paid tiers. All right, and with that, I'm going to let Coleman introduce our speaker. And just a quick reminder to head to events.viscosityna.com or nyoug.org to sign up for our upcoming webinars. All righty, thanks.
Yeah. Thank you, Monica. So I just want to introduce Romit Acharya, and he's going to speak today. And I want to thank Viscosity and Oracle for allowing us to have these series of webinars together. Thank you, Romit.
Thank you, Coleman. Thanks for the intro, and let me quickly bring up my screen. Give me a minute, I'm just doing that. I hope my screen is visible. Can I get a confirmation? Okay. So, greetings and good morning, everyone. I'm Romit Acharya, a product manager with Oracle's Enterprise Manager and O&M team. I extend a warm welcome to all of you to today's presentation. Today, we'll delve into the topic of Fortify hybrid multi-cloud database environment using Enterprise Manager. DBAs often find themselves spending countless hours reviewing, identifying, analyzing, and applying security updates, that is patches, to the databases. It can feel like a never-ending cycle with one iteration seamlessly blending into the next. At Oracle, we are dedicated to crafting high-quality products and enhancing our solutions to streamline the lives of DBAs. Our goal is to free up their valuable time for more meaningful endeavor. One such initiative we are excited to share with you is the Fleet Maintenance Hub. In the later part of this presentation, we'll explore how this automation solution can fortify your business-critical assets. Let's embark on this journey together. So what's keeping our customers busy? What we have seen is many customers are modernizing their data centers to ensure their business is future ready, enabling them to adopt and pivot quickly to changing business dynamics. As a part of this modernization, customers are looking at three macro-level goals. First, to lower overall cost, covering both CAPEX and APEX. Second, reduce cybersecurity risk by enhancing enterprise security posture with the processes like patch to secure, standardized configurations, and constantly auditing for compliance. Lastly, to upgrade their data centers with hybrid cloud platform to enable DevOps environment for on-demand deployments. Fleet maintenance solution is a part of database lifecycle management pack. With the database lifecycle management pack, you can do comprehensive management of databases, starting from provisioning a database to securing them to be compliant with security policies defined by your security office. In today's session, we'll primarily focus on lifecycle management and patch recommendations with the intent to showcase solutions for you to secure your assets. Database Lifecycle Management Pack provides a rich set of features that supports database consolidations, enforces standardizations, manage for security compliance, secure configurations of your assets, and automate time-consuming tasks. As the number of data breaches continue to increase, more and more companies are elevating their IT risk management and measure their security posture against the compliance defined by the respective security office. With Database Lifecycle Management Pack, you can automate day-to-day operational tasks, manage and secure your assets compliance with industry and regulatory standards like CIS, STIC, HIPAA, or PCI DSS. You can strengthen configuration security, manage changes, especially undesired changes to reduce the risk of breaches. And you can leverage built-in autonomous health framework that is ExaCheck to secure and manage your Exadata infrastructure stack for any health, performance, and security issues. We are extending the same capabilities for Exadata Cloud as well. You just need one tool, that is Enterprise Manager, to manage your targets both on-premise and in hybrid cloud. Just reiterating, with this pack, you can perform lifecycle management of your database assets, secure configurations, and manage compliance with your policies. With a brief introduction about Database Lifecycle Management Pack and the solutions it offers, in the upcoming slides, we will review some of the core challenges towards patching and how fleet maintenance as a solution can help you replace most of the resource-intensive and error-prone activities with this automation solution. We'll see the benefits our clients can expect with this tool. So as I was mentioning in the previous slide that we'll be talking about some of the challenges, and this slide we see 4 challenges. The first is patch to secure and encrypt to protect. What we have observed is 26% of the breaches are due to unpatched systems, even though patches were available but not applied. Second is based upon the standardization and tracking the configuration sprawl. What we have seen is again, 45% of the breaches were due to misconfigurations. One of the preferred way to exploit is misconfigurations and insecure configuration changes. Sprawl elevates risk index and homegrown scripts increases overall maintenance cost. Third is risk management and compliance. It is the top 2 priority for organizations as it amounts to high OPEX and increased breach risk. Lastly, which is the fourth, you have to deal with the elevated privileges. We have seen that most of the breaches leverage weak credentials, and lack of security policies with principles of least privileges to users leads to these breaches often. In this session, I'll focus on a couple of these challenges and show you how fleet maintenance can be leveraged to address these challenges. At a high level, fleet maintenance is Enterprise Manager's patching and upgrade solution. You can secure your databases and grid infrastructure by applying all required patches. From operational perspective, fleet maintenance covers 2 time-consuming aspects for you. First, it provides recommendation of Oracle published patches as and when Oracle releases them. Secondly, it identifies your database targets that are missing these recommended security patches. So isn't it great that 2 of the most time-consuming tasks are taken care by fleet maintenance itself? Every business is different and has a unique process. Customizations play an important part in ensuring that business processes run smoothly. Often, after patching or upgrade, customers face challenges in their customized setup, and this is due to the new piece of code introduced as a part of patching, which overrides the custom code. Fleet maintenance gives you the ability to include scripts which can be executed during predefined phases of patching so that you can reintroduce customizations in your environment. You don't need any additional downtime or a separate maintenance window to do that. These can be taken care of during the same patching cycle. So once the environment is available after patching, all your customizations will be available and your business process will continue to run smoothly. As I was mentioning, Enterprise Manager is one management tool for hybrid cloud environment where your database could reside in traditional data center, community hardware, Exadata Cloud at customer, or Exadata Cloud Services, or for that matter, at any public cloud entities. As a result of one management tool model, your team gets consistent user experience. No new skills to be learned for managing databases in on-premise, ExaCC, or ExaCS, or any other environment. One playbook, as opposed to multiple, to secure your assets and be compliant with audit policies. And agility and faster time to market by deploying hybrid PDBS solution. As mentioned previously, fleet maintenance is the solution for you to keep your assets secure by ensuring all security patches are applied. It supports databases from 11.2.4 onwards all the way to 21C and beyond across a broad range of underlying environments. You can patch and upgrade a single instance database, a multi-tenant setup that could be a CDB or a PDB, rack configurations, and grid infrastructure. These database assets can be updated with or without data guard configurations. There are three macro steps involved in upgrading and patching your assets. You scan your fleet to identify configuration pollution or missing security patches and get the recommendations. Then you create a gold image with relevant security patches, subscribe database assets to this gold image, and lastly, you deploy the gold image and switch these assets to the new Oracle home. So that was a very high-level introduction to fleet maintenance and its key capabilities. Let us take a real-life scenario to see fleet maintenance in action and the ease it will provide to DBA and other benefits that comes along. Fleet Maintenance Hub automatically identifies missing patches. As patches are created, it assesses the level of impact on the DB ecosystem and provides a gold image workflow for patch deployment. One of the reasons for you to patch your targets is to apply all recommended security patches published by Oracle. As we have seen in the previous slide, one of the 4 key challenges was the patches were available, but they were not applied. There could be many reasons. So we believe that if you use Fleet Maintenance Hub, it eases your life and the chances of you missing out those recommended patches will become negligible. As and when Oracle publishes critical patch updates, that is CPU, every quarter, you want to make sure recommended security patches are applied on all affected database assets. Let's take an example. When the July CPU is published, and if you apply all the recommended security patches, you are in good shape. But let's assume you don't have a quarterly patching model aligned with the CPU releases. So next is October CPU, which comes out with its own few recommended security patches. Now in October, you have patches from July CPU plus the October CPU. Fast forward to Jan CPU that also has few recommended security patches of its own. So your outstanding security patches have ballooned up based upon the last 3 CPU patches. But critically, you have database assets missing security patches for the past 9 months, which makes them vulnerable. Again, fast forward to April CPU, which will have its own set of recommended security patches like others. So the cumulative from last 4 quarters, you have ended up with a good number of recommended patches. So at a bare minimum, if you're not aligned with quarterly patching cycle, you have essentially increased vulnerability risk for your database assets. What we have seen is, on an average, an enterprise IT spends 12 man weeks, that's 1 quarter in a year, for 1 DBA just to do this entire assessment. It's a lot of DBA time that could be leveraged for growing your business. How about if you have a solution for the challenges we have discussed so far? How about if you have a tool that provides an automated, prioritized list of recommended security patches when they are released, gives you insight into affected database targets, and has a workflow to apply these patches to the impacted targets to ensure patch compliance. No prices for guesses? Well, that tool is fleet maintenance. This is where our brand new fleet maintenance hub comes into play. Let us look at this in more detail. Fleet Maintenance Hub is a powerful one-stop place for customers to get insight into vulnerabilities in database assets. It helps you to apply patches to affected targets and secure each of those. Hub is a single pane of glass for security patch recommendations, vulnerability assessments, and patch operations. We'll see Fleet Maintenance Hub in the demo as well. For now, all I can say is the Fleet Maintenance Hub is based upon a 3-tile solution. As of now, we are looking at the second tile, which is patch recommendations for images. Beneath that, we have a table which has got all the important information related to images, along with the patch recommendations, subscribe targets, and patch compliance. You can get the state of the health of these images through tile 2 as well. So you have a pie chart which talks about up-to-date images, that is the images which are healthy, and then the red one will show you the images that has got patch recommendations. Let's pick up an image from the below table. So the highlighted image has got 6 patch recommendations. This is a different image which has got all the patch recommendations. It has got one target that is subscribed, and this target is compliant. That means the subscribed target is running at the latest version. If not, from the actions menu, you can go ahead and choose the option to update this database. We'll look at Fleet Maintenance Hub, as I mentioned, in the demo as well. With Fleet Maintenance Hub, you as an administrator will get one stop place for insights into vulnerabilities, workflow to refresh and apply the patches, giving you tangible savings in your day-to-day operational activities, eliminating any potential human error, and most importantly, keeping your patch levels compliant with your policies. This is just a pictorial representation of 3 macro steps to secure your assets by applying all security recommended patches using Enterprise Manager's Fleet Maintenance solution. The first step is to create a gold image from the reference environment that has got all the required patches. Second is to deploy the refreshed image to the non-compliant targets. And lastly, you update the target to make it compliant and secure. This is a high-level sneak peek into an upcoming single pane of glass view for you to enhance the overall security posture of your assets. Security breaches through the compromise of privileged identities can lead to damaged reputations, financial losses, and stolen intellectual property. Also, the risk of insider attacks, hybrid environments, and actors in the same network lead to easy password compromise, which in turn increases the adoption of PAM across many organizations. PAM solution helps organizations to eliminate hard-coded credentials and allow highly sensitive passwords to be centrally stored, locked, and managed within the vault. This unique approach enables organizations to comply with internal and regulatory compliance requirements of the periodic password rotations and monitor and audit privileged access across all systems and databases. Enterprise Manager has now an integration with privileged access management solution. Let's review the solutions we have for key business concerns. If you remember from the earlier slide, we have shown 4 key challenges. For unpatched systems, you can use Fleet Maintenance Hub and go ahead and use tile 2 to get important information regarding the recommendations for gold images. To address any misconfigurations, you can make use of executing custom scripts through Fleet Maintenance at various stages of patching and upgrade. Over here, we can see we give you 4 options, 2 under deploy and 2 under update as pre and post solutions. To address configuration sprawl, you can use Software Standardization Advisor. And finally, to address compromised credentials, you can use PAM, which we have discussed in the last slide. This hub elevates our existing fleet maintenance user interface story. The existing UI provides a smart and intuitive interface that guides you through setting up and performing all patching tasks for your database assets. You can schedule the entire patching operation in one flow that includes deploying the software, migrating the listener, and update the database. UI also provides you an option to include scripts that can be executed as a pre and post during the deployment and update phase, which we have seen in the last slide. Using this UI, you can track various operations at every step, which also gives you an actionable insight for you to act upon. UI gives you the option to drill down and check the exact process which is executing, and if something goes wrong, you can fix and retry it. You also get an option to ignore and proceed to the next step. Compared to CLI, where you have to open multiple terminals to review many logs, UI not only makes the monitoring easy, but also troubleshooting, as it can easily point to the error dog section. There are built-in pre-checks to improve the reliability and diagnosability of patching operations, which you can make use of it before submitting the actual patching operation. We continue to add more capabilities to fleet maintenance. In the past few months, we have expanded our UI capabilities. You can now upgrade a database instance to a PDB. You can roll back grid infrastructure and Oracle restart failures. You can upgrade and patch pluggable databases. You can use auto-upgrade utility to upgrade multi-tenant to multi-tenant and non-multi-tenant to non-multi-tenant databases. With upcoming RUs, we'll adopt more features of auto-upgrade. You can use the chaining option to deploy and update operations. From a security perspective, we have PAM integration in place. You can use the PAM solution during the update and upgrade process. We are also supporting TDE-based enabled databases by making use of init file. And finally, we have the APIs and CLIs for getting patch recommendations information that can be used for refreshing your gold images. Now, a quick insight into upcoming innovations and capabilities. So far, we know that fleet maintenance is your one solution for patching and securing your entire databases and grid infrastructure. But how do you patch your Exadata engineered system? Wouldn't it be ideal to have one tool that can patch databases, grid infrastructures, and also Exadata engineered system? That is exactly what we are after. Here is a preview of upcoming support. You can leverage Enterprise Manager's API and CLI to patch components like physical and virtual compute nodes, storage cells, KVM and XenDOM UGS, and InfiniBand switches. With this, you can automate patching of multiple components across multiple Exadata systems. You can schedule deploy and update operations to align with your preferred maintenance window. Deploy is typically an async operation and it doesn't incur any downtime. So if you have best practices like deploy Tuesday, update Saturday, you can schedule these with the upcoming support. One other area of innovation is building intuitive user interface for gold image management support, which we'll see next in the demo. This UI will be tightly integrated with Fleet Maintenance Hub so that you get an intuitive end-to-end workflow for fleet level vulnerabilities detection, create or refresh existing gold image, and update affected targets. So it's demo time. In this demo, we'll look at Fleet Maintenance Hub. We'll see how the patch recommendations will work, how we can use Hub to subscribe targets, refresh gold image, and then go ahead and use fleet maintenance to update the targets. Let me launch the demo site. This is the ever familiar login screen. So we log into Enterprise Manager. Now under the Enterprise Summary, in the patch recommendation section, we see that there are no patch recommendations available. That means we have not uploaded any patch recommendations to Enterprise Manager, and also the online mode, that is wherein you set up your MOS credentials within the EM so that EM can talk to MOS and download the latest patch recommendations as and when they are released, is not set up in this environment. So let's go to fleet maintenance for now. From targets, databases, and then from databases, I see administration and fleet maintenance hub. You see that there is another option of fleet maintenance. The fleet maintenance hub was introduced in Enterprise Manager 13.5 RU16, whereas fleet maintenance, the UI solution for the operator related activities, was released with 13.5. So if you simply want to go ahead and launch the patching operation, provided that you know that the target databases are already subscribed to a healthy cold image, you can choose to do so. In this demo, I'll let you know when we switch over to the operator UI. So for now, let's launch Fleet Maintenance Hub. So this is the home page of Fleet Maintenance. This is tile 1, target subscription, where we see that I have got two components, databases and grid infrastructure. And I have got, out of 5 databases, 4 databases are not subscribed and 1 is subscribed. The databases that are not subscribed cannot take part in any patching operation. So as a DBA, it is important for me to make sure that all my database assets, all the components, be databases or grid infrastructure, are subscribed to a healthy image. In this environment, I do not have any grid infrastructure. That's the reason we see no targets found. In the middle section, we see a bar based upon the database version. So this environment, I've got only 19 and 18C. That's the reason why you see the two bars over here. And in the below table, I've got the list of databases that is visible to this Enterprise Manager. Here are some of the database names, and here is the subscription status. So right now I see only one database, that is HR, running on 19.18, is subscribed. The rest of them are not. So in this demo, we'll select one of these databases, subscribe it to a healthy gold image, and then go ahead and complete the patching activity. This is tile 2. For now, it shows that both my images are green, but that is misleading information, because if you look at this section where we see the patch recommendations job status, it has not been executed. That is something that we saw in the very first slide, wherein under the enterprise summary section, we saw that there are no patch recommendations generated. Likewise for target patch compliance, as and when we'll see that the images, the state of image has changed, there might be some changes over here as well. We'll go ahead and have a look at it. So let me go back to the summary section. I'll choose the offline mode to upload the patch recommendations. So I'll click on offline. A new page appears for offline patching. So over here, you simply click on this link. This link will download the EM catalog, which holds all the information about the patch recommendations. Then you go ahead, choose the file. Again, over here, you'll choose the EM catalog file that we have just downloaded and click on upload. Once we do that, we'll see that a new job refresh from My Oracle support has been executed. So if you click on it, you'll come to the job activity page where you'll see the details of this job. Now that we have seen that this job has executed completely successfully, let's go back. So we are again in Hub. Now, if you remember earlier, I had a healthy status for both my images. Now I see both my images are red. That means the moment the patch recommendation job got completed, Hub realized that there are new patches that has been published by Oracle, which are missing in these images. And that's the reason why you see a green pie over here. Sorry, a red pie over here. So you move to tile 2, patch recommendations for images. Over here, you see there are 2 patch recommendations for both these images. So if you click on 2, here is the patch recommendation. So what you see is we have got 19.23 recommendations for databases and OGVM. One of the prereqs for Fleet Maintenance Hub is to ensure that whatever patches we want to apply for the gold image, we need to ensure that we have downloaded it and uploaded within the software library component of Enterprise Manager. So I'll click on Enterprise, Patching and Provisioning, and Saved Patches. Under here, you click on Upload, and you'll get a dialog window wherein you can select the patches. So I had these two patches as the recommended ones. So I had downloaded it in my system and I have uploaded it. So under the saved patches, you see these two 19.23 database and OGVM patches. Back to Hub. You click on the create new version link over here. Alternatively, from actions, you can also do the same thing. So when you click on new version, a new window appears. Let me take a moment to talk about gold images and versions. Better if I go back. So what do you see is we have a gold image with the name 93DB apps. So in a gold image, there could be a multiple version. So this gold image is related to 19C release. And as you know, there could be multiple versions within the 19C, 19.1, 19.2, 19.10, 15, 17. And as we see over here in the patch recommendations, I've got something called 19.23. So as and when the new release, the new 19C version release comes out, it's not necessary for us to go ahead and create a brand new image altogether. Because if we go ahead and start to do that, that will be, an additional burden on our maintenance, because there will be multiple images that we'll have to manage. So what we have done is under one central image, you can have multiple versions. Now, any version that is marked as current will be used for deploying it. So instead of going ahead and creating a new image, which will take care of 19.23, what we'll do is we'll click on create new version and this page will appear. So right now, I've got the option to select one of the existing Oracle homes to use this as a source. So what I've done is I've clicked on select Oracle home and selected this database path, and this is the database, and this is the Oracle home name within the Enterprise Manager. So what I will do is I can either clone this Oracle home, patch these two patch recommendations that we have seen, and then use the patched cloned Oracle home to create a gold image. I know it could be daunting, so let me repeat that. One of the options for me is to select the Oracle home and then clone this Oracle home and then patch it so that you do not disturb the original Oracle home. And once you have the patched clone home, you use that home as a reference to create the gold image. That is one option. Another option is you can straight away go ahead and patch the selected Oracle home. So in this demo environment, since I had some space crunch, what I've done is instead of going ahead, creating a clone and using that option, I simply selected the option wherein I'll be patching this Oracle home with the two recommended patches. I know we see there are 5 patch recommendations here, but I'll talk about it later. Then I'll give the log location name, the credentials, and this is the new version name. So the recommendation is for 19.23. So I've used 19.23 nomenclature for the new version name. Now, when I select next, this is the location of add patches. So the very first one is GI release related to 19.23. Now, if you remember in this environment, I do not have any, excuse me, I do not have any grid infrastructure. And the database that I'm going to patch is not a rack database. It's a single instance database. So there is no point for me to include this grid patch for 19.23. Secondly, you see these two additional patches as we have tagged them as additional patches and targets with patches listed as num1. The reason these patches are appearing is because the gold image that we had selected, which we are using to create a new version, that gold image has already subscribed to one of the databases. And since those databases are having these two patches, that's the reason why these two patches are appearing as additional patches. So in a real world, wherein we have tested one of the environments with patching and post-patching, if we observe that there are some issues, so what we'll do is that we'll apply one of the patches on top of those databases, right? Like one of patches. So you need to have the list of those additional patches. So that's a kind of a manual work. So what we have done is in this page, we have built up the intelligence wherein any additional patches which is there in the subscribed databases but not in the gold image, it will appear here. So that when you go ahead and create a new version, you include those additional patches. In this demo, I'm only using the 19.23. I have not downloaded these two patches. That's the reason why you see their availability in software library as red. If I click on next, here is a review screen wherein I have selected these two patches and I'll simply go ahead and submit. Once I do the submit, one of the deployment procedure will kick off to create this gold image. So if I click on it, it will take me to the provisioning page wherein I can see the steps that will be carried out for creating this gold image. So here we have seen that it took almost an hour to create this gold image. Now back to Hub. If you remember, we had a red cross here as well for the apps, 19C DB Linux apps. Now, since we have created a new version, so what we have done is the new version has got the latest patches. But if you remember, at some time I told you about images and having multiple versions. So if you want to use a version, you need to ensure that you mark it as current. So if you click on mark version as current, a new slide will appear. Herein, we can see that for the gold image 19C apps, we have got 4 different versions starting from 1917 to 18 to 19.23 that we have just created. Right now, 19.18 stands as current. So if you go ahead and use this gold image, 19.18 DBRU will be used for deployment of Oracle Home. Now, since I've created 19.23, I'll make this as current. Now, it has been made as current. And if you see the status, the health status under patch recommendations for this image is all green. Now, this image is in healthy state. I can go ahead and use this image to perform my patching or upgrade activity. So I'll go back to target subscription page, and now it's time to subscribe the target that I want to patch. So in this demo, I'll select sales database. I'll subscribe sales database to the gold image that we have just refreshed. So I click on subscribe. Here is the new slide out. I've selected the apps, which is at 19.23 DBRU that we have just created. I selected sales and I'll click on subscribe. Going back, one point to remember, at any given point of time, you can select multiple databases and you do not need these databases to be up because we are simply playing with the metadata within the EM. So it doesn't matter if your database is available or not available, we can still go ahead and complete the subscribe activity. So this being done, now we see the sales has changed the subscription status. We see a green tick mark. If we go back to target patch compliance, which is basically the last step that we should be doing when we complete the patching and upgrade activity to check the target compliance, what we see right now is sales is subscribed to a healthy gold image, healthy because we see a green tick mark, but we see a yellow drifted. That means the sales has drifted from the image, and we need to make sure that we either perform the operation like update over here as it has mentioned to bring it back to the level of the gold image. So you click on update. Before going update, a quick check. In this operation, we'll be doing a PDB level patching. So we're not going to patch the complete CDB that is sales. Instead, what we'll do is we will unplug finance and we'll plug it to the HR, which is at 19.23. This one. Just take a note that for finance, for HR container database, there is only one PDB, which is HR PDB. So by the end of this operation, we'll have finance PDB as a part of HR. So going back here, if we click on update, from actions, I'll select update pluggable database. Now, this screen is something that you will see if you directly launch fleet maintenance hub. So if you remember from databases administration, you had two links. One was fleet maintenance hub and the other was fleet maintenance. So this is the fleet maintenance screen. Since we are coming from fleet maintenance hub, the image, the target type, and the operations are already pre-selected for me, along with the pluggable database. So if you want, you can still go ahead and you can select the drop-down and make the changes if you want to. So as I mentioned, in this case, I'll be patching the finance PDB. So I've selected finance. I click on next. Now for any PDB patching, we have got two options. Either I attach a PDB to existing one that we'll be doing right now, or you can go ahead, deploy a new CDB altogether, and then you plug the PDB that you have selected previously to the new CDB. In this demo, we'll be selecting the first option, that is attaching to existing PDB, which is the, attaching to existing CDB, which is the HR that we have seen in the previous screen. So by the end of this operation, we would have moved finance PDB from sales to HR. I've selected attach existing CDB and update. Both these operations will start immediately once the previous one is completed. These are the credentials for normal, privileged, and database credentials, and some of the options. So this is, as I was mentioning, this is a non-RAC. So I do not need to do a cluster verification. That's the reason why I've selected yes for skipping cluster verification. This is a standard environment. I do not need any customizations to be taken care. So what I've done is I've not selected anything in the custom script section. I click on next. Over here, I had an option to do some validation. So I've gone ahead and done a quick validation, and this is the result. So this is all green. Validation helps you to ensure that any small issues that may hinder your patching operation the moment you hit it, you can straight away go ahead and fix them before your patching starts, so that you do not waste your precious patching maintenance window in troubleshooting. So you can simply concentrate on the patching operation basically. You click on close and then you submit. Before submitting, you need to provide the name that will be unique to the deployment procedures that will be submitted for this operation. So I've selected the name as demo_update. I click on submit. Here are the two deployment procedures that will get executed. One is to attach to an existing CDB, and then the another one is to update the PDB. So if I click on monitor progress, these are the two deployment procedures. Like I mentioned, one is attach and the another one is update. Attach got succeeded, it immediately completed. And then we'll have a look at the update one. So the update got completed as well. And if you go back to your database page, now you see that the HR CDB that only had one PDB as HR PDB, it now has a finance as well, which is running at 90.23. And earlier, sales CDB had 5 PDBs. One of them was finance, and we have successfully relocated it back to the HR at a higher version. So this was a patching demo use case wherein we patched a PDB from 19.17.19.23. So coming back to Hub, you won't see much of a difference here, because over here we have not patched a container database, wherein we have simply patched a PDB. If we would have patched a container database, so target compliance that you see 50%, that means out of the two, one of the target is running at the 19.23 version and the other one is not. So as I mentioned, had it been a CDB patching use case, you would have seen 100% over here. Like over here, if you see the HR, which is also subscribed to the same gold image, is at 19.23, whereas sales is at 19.17. So what we did in this demo, we patched a pluggable database by moving it from sales to HR. So that concludes the demo, and going back to the last few slides of my presentation. So this is audit for patch compliance. So starting from Enterprise Manager 13.5 RU22, you can now download the report for LCM actions. So this is useful add-on as auditor seeks for LCM activity report during every audit cycle. So what we have seen is most of our customers, they have asked for a solution wherein we can provide them the report for the patching and upgrade operations related to their databases that they have performed, because auditors would want to know when the patching for a particular database was completed, and whether it got completed within the within the outage window, or the same timeline. It shouldn't be the fact that the patching was supposed to happen on Saturday, but it was done a day before or a day after. So those kind of things, something that auditors are keenly looking at. You'll get all that information in form of CSV file. Right now, you have the support in terms of REST APIs. Very soon, you'll have EMC Live solution as well. Well, that concludes the demo and the presentation from more side. Here are more resources available for you to learn more about fleet maintenance. From this link, you can see there are a few videos and documentations showing why and how you can secure your assets. I'm happy to answer your questions now.
If you
Okay,
guys
I
have any
see.
other questions, please go ahead and get them in. Sorry, go ahead, Romit.
Yeah, I can see there's a question from Kevin. Can Oracle Home Gold Image used by fleet maintenance and provisioning be interchangeably used? Technically, it has been tested successfully, but Oracle has not made it a supported method official. So, Kevin, if you're talking about FPP, and if you're referring if gold image used by FPP, if that can be used interchangeably, then the answer at this point of time is no. But if you are using, provisioning in OEM, fleet maintenance and provisioning, well, that, yes, it can be done, Kevin. It can be done. But yes, if you're talking about FPP and fleet maintenance, then definitely not. The gold images created by FPP, even though when you're using UI, fleet maintenance has the ability to understand that whether this is a native gold image or an image created by FPP. So if you're using UI, then yes, that can be done. But definitely, if you're talking about provisioning through EM, then yes, the answer is yes. Then there's a question from George. Will this work for databases running on Windows? Yes, it will. So when it comes to Windows, we are only supporting the patching solution. We do not have a upgrade solution using fleet maintenance for Windows. Sure, Kevin. I'll take a look at it.
Awesome. Any other questions? Go ahead and get them in there. While you guys think of anything else you want to ask, just a reminder that today's webinar is recorded. You'll have access to it through NYOUG.org. Once you find it in there, there's a page of presentations. You should be able to just click on the webinar and rewatch it. So last call for questions. You're getting answers straight from the hose. So definitely take advantage of that opportunity. But if nothing else, thank you so much, Romit, for your time today. We really appreciate it. You and your team as a whole have been giving us great sessions, and it's always awesome to have Oracle product managers here giving your expertise to NYOUG and Viscosity followers and attendees. So thank you so much.
Most welcome, and thank you for having me here.
Yes, we hope to have you again soon. Coleman, thank you as well. We are working hard, y'all, to get more speakers like Romit scheduled. So keep taking a look at those email blasts and those websites to sign up for more. We hope to see you next week for information from Rich Nemick on 23 AI. And otherwise, we'll see you then. I hope everyone has a great week. Take care.
Great week, everybody. Thank you again for attending.
Thank you. Bye-bye.